Hello friends and families, once again welcome to Armstrong channel. Now on our previous lesson, remember we dealt with how to use some series of commands, and we also dealt with how to use the help section. Now let's look at the continuation of using MS-DOS commands. So what you are seeing on the screen is what we learned earlier on so far as MS-DOS is concerned, where we talk about using help to then display all the commands. So as my help section is displaying, for me to just clear the screen, might to just type CLS and press enter. My screen will be cleared. Okay, so basically that is just that. Moving on, in our previous lesson, if you guys could remember, I told you that before I then talk about the C prompt, which is known as the parent directory, or the A prompt, which is known as the root directory, I would like us to talk about help, which I've already done by explaining what the help section is used for. So the help section, more or less, we have already treated the help section. So the next thing we're looking at is the C prompt. Now I want to talk about the C prompt. The C prompt indicates the hard disk, as I said earlier on, so which is known as the parent directory, whilst the A prompt indicates the floppy drive. Now, well, some may ask, floppy drive, are not yes and no. By God's grace, we thank God for pen drive and other flash drivers. So then, or the E prompt. Now, some may ask, why E prompt? Now, before we talk about this, now if you're holding a pen drive, you need to anytime you slot your pen drive to your PC or your laptop, now the computer can use any alphabet to represent your pen drive, okay, which is known as the root directory. Let's look at the alphabet the computer is going to use to represent my pen drive. So as you can see, this is my DOS screen, so I'll just restore the window back to its normal size. Now I've already slotted my pen drive to my system, so if you're there, you can just slot your pen drive to your laptop, so laptop or desktop, any which way. When you are done, what I'd like you to do is that, as I said, we are going to look at the alphabet the computer is using to represent our pen drive. So to do this, come to this PC and double click on this PC on your desktop. So after double clicking this PC, you can see we can have the USB disk. That is the alphabet the computer is using to represent my pen drive. That is what E, which is the root directory, as my pen drive. When I double click on my pen drive, this is what is on my pen drive. Animation. Well, if you didn't watch, I'll be leaving a link in my description. If you're watching from YouTube, we did some section of how to create animation scene. I'll be leaving it there, where you can just go there and learn something about animation using HTML and CSS. Okay, so that's just by the way. Let's move on. So this is kind of animation scene that I have on my pen drive. So that is the only thing on my pen drive. Okay, so which means that the computer is using alphabet E to represent my pen drive, which is known as the root directory, and the hard disk, the computer is using alphabet C to represent the hard disk. All the time, the computer always use alphabet C to represent hard disk or local disk. Someone may ask, what about this new folder? This is, I partitioned my hard drive. So this is just a partition, like I divided my hard drive into two. Don't worry, let's see whether as time goes on, I'll be covering this section, how to do this. So therefore, as we all know how to as we've all realized that the computer is using alphabet E to represent my pen drive, let me just maximize my DOS window. So after maximizing my DOS window, now for me to move to the root directory, which is my pen drive, as I now know that the computer is using alphabet E to represent my pen drive, I have to just type 𝐸_prompt. E, then you hold on to shift, then you bring the prompt. After that, press enter. So you can see you are on your root directory, which is the pen drive. So to clear the screen, you have to just type CLS and press enter. Your screen is being cleared. So for you to move from the pen drive, which is known as the root directory, to the parent directory, you need to use an alphabet known as the 𝐶_prompt, which is the parent directory. So to move from your pen drive to your hard disk, which is known as the parent directory, you use the 𝐶_prompt. So currently we are on the root directory, which is known as the pen drive, which is the 𝐸_prompt. So to move from the root directory to the parent directory, I have to just type 𝐶_prompt and press enter, and I am on my 𝐶_prompt. Then I'll just clear the screen, CLS, and press enter. Now you know how to move from the parent directory to the root directory. Simply means you know how to move from, how do you call it, the parent directory, okay, to the root directory, which is the pen drive. So all the time, to just take a recap for you to understand what I'm trying to talk about, that when you want to switch from your parent directory, which is your hard disk, to your root directory, please first slot your pen drive and then check the alphabet the computer is using to represent your pen drive. Maybe it can be G, it can be F. So any alphabet the computer is using to represent your pen drive, then you can just use that to switch from the parent directory to the root directory, which is known as your pen drive. The next section we'll be looking at is format. Okay, which is the next command that's what we're looking at now. Format. Instead of format, it's a format a disk for. Is used to, in other way around, one would say it is used to prepare a disk or one would say it is used to clear all unwanted characters from the pen drive. So to format, you can use DOS command format to format your pen drive. Let's look at how that is being done. So as I am on my DOS window, for me to format my pen drive, I need to make sure I am on my parent directory, or you need to make sure you need to be on your parent directory, which is known as your hard disk. So sometimes you may be on your root directory, which is your pen drive. Okay, so when you're on your pen drive, don't be alarmed, just clear the screen and then move to the parent directory, which is your hard disk. So all the time, make sure you are on the parent directory before formatting your pen drive. So to format my pen drive, I need to just type the command known as format. Okay, format, then I'll bring the attributes that I wanted to format, which is the 𝐸_prompt. Then after that, I'll press enter. Now, as I said earlier on, DOS uses a command line interface to interact with you and the computer. So you're saying that insert a new disk for drive E and press enter when ready. Yes, I'm ready. So might as well just press enter. So when I press enter, the computer will start to format this pen drive starting from 1. You see that it's now 0. As you can see here, it's now 0. So it's going to start from 1, 2, 3 up to 100. Let's wait and see what happens. So you could see that it has started formatting from 1, so like that, 2, in that manner, up to what? Up to 100. So when it does that, it's going to tell you that format complete. So press enter for none. Then you go ahead and press enter for none. Then after that, you clear your screen. But the funny thing is that my pen drive is very big, 28.6 gigabyte. It's going to take a long period of time. So let me just fast forward this so that we move on to the next thing. So but you just have to just wait, and it will take a time and format the entire pen drive for you. And then, as I said, it will format from 1, just relax, 1 up to 100. Then it will tell you, can see it has moved to 2, and it will tell you format complete, and then it will tell you again you should press enter for none. You go ahead and press your enter, and then after that you clear the screen. So basically that is just that. The next thing we'll be looking at is how to use MD or 𝐒𝐤𝐲𝐩. As you can see there, it says that it is used to create a directory. MD is used to create a directory. So MD or 𝐒𝐤𝐲𝐩, it is used to create a directory. When we talk about a directory simply means a folder or an electronic case where files are being kept. Let's look at how to create a directory. As you can see, I am on my parent directory. Let's look at my pen drive. You see my pen drive is drive E. So after formatting, let's look at the contents on the pen drive. So you will see we have USB disks. So now when I double click on my pen drive, you see it comes at okay, file not found, meaning that my pen drive is empty. So basically that is just that. So now how can I use DOS command to check whether my pen drive contains something or not? Let's look at how that is being done. So as I am on my command prompt to check that, what I need to do is I need to move from the parent directory to the root directory, which means I need to move from my hard disk to my pen drive. Then I can check the content of my pen drive. Now as I just type dir now, I'm just viewing the content of my hard disk. So these are the files on my hard disk. You see that's the C prompt. Okay, so now let's look at how to see the content of my pen drive. So first, what I need to do is to just clear the screen. So after clearing the screen, I'll type E prompt because the computer is using E to represent my pen drive. So I'll type E prompt and press enter. So I can see now I am on my pen drive. So therefore, to check the content of my pen drive, what I need to arrange is just type dir and press enter. But before that, I need to clear the screen, which I already done. So to do this, as I've cleared the screen now to check the content, type dir and press enter. Now it says okay, directory not found, okay, file not found, meaning that my pen drive is empty. So basically that is just that. So as we are done, the next thing I'm going to look at is to create the directory. Now after I've cleared the screen now, there are two ways in creating a directory. As I said, you can use the MD to create a directory, and you can also use the 𝐒𝐤𝐲𝐩 to create a directory. Now I'm going to use the notepad and list the names that we are going to use to create the directories. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just opening my notepad now and I'm adjusting the screen. So the first directory I'm going to create is 𝓒𝓸𝓷𝓽𝓪𝓬𝓽, and then followed by let's say P, and then followed by let's say D, and then followed by let's say Joe, and then followed by let's say probably C, and the last one let me use 𝐒𝐤𝐞. Maybe 𝐒𝐤𝐞 will be okay. Let me use 𝐒𝐤𝐞 will be nice, so that at least I'll have a perfect okay directories that I wanted to create. But all the same, that is just by the way. So we have 𝓒𝓸𝓷, P, D, Joe, C. Okay, so that is just that. So those are the directories I wanted to create. So let me just type my king, so KING. So those are the directories I wanted to create. Now as I said, there are two ways in creating a directory. you can choose to type before you create the directory, you just type md space the name of the directory that you wanted to create, that is 𝓏𝓏, and then you press what, enter. Okay, that is one way. So you do that one after the other, or you can also do another way by typing, let's say, md space 𝓏𝓏, okay, then space, then p, okay, then space, then d. So in that manner, we'll be looking at these two ways of creating a directories, so you guys can get the whole concept of how to create these directories. Now, as you can see, these are the names. So let's go back to the screen and start to create our directory. So now, to create my directory, what I need to do is that, as the names, let me just adjust it so that you can see both the names and my DOS window at the same time. So to do this, might as well just go ahead and type md. Okay, I'll just type md, okay, space the name of the directory. The first one is below, press enter. Then you type md space, let's say, p. You press enter. Remember, I'm saying that you can use md or mkdir. Now we just created two using md. Let's try another one, another command, which is the mkdir to create. So you can just go like mkdir. Now the dir stands for directory, directory short dir. Basically, that's just that. So it means that make a directory. Now the first one, known as md, which is md, this one, I mean, simply means make directory, So m stands for make, d stands for directory. So now mk, so make directory, any which way, basically. So it might call like initials. Okay, so now after typing this mkdir space, then I'll type d. After that, I'll press enter. Then I want to create 𝐻, so I'll just type mkdir space. Then I'll move ahead by saying c. Done. So let's want to create 𝐒𝐤𝐞. So I can just go by saying mkdir space 𝐒𝐤𝐞, then press enter. Then maybe I wanted to create energy, that's all. So basically that is just, now when I'm done, might as well just clear the screen. For me to clear my screen, might as well just type cls, and my screen is being cleared. Now for me to see the contents of my pen drive, or to see whether the directories I have created is on my pen drive, might to just type dir, and dir will display the content of my pen drive. So might to type dir and press enter. So you can see here, this here first, let's look at it down here. So the total directories are what? 5. Okay, I have 5, and I have 𝓏𝓏, I have p, I have d, I have c, and I have 𝐒𝐤𝐞. Oh, sorry, I've not created a directory known 𝐻𝐻. So now let's assume that you created this directory. You realize that, okay, you've not created one directory known as 𝐻𝐻. Okay, so to do that is just simple. You also to just go ahead and then just type md space 𝐻𝐻 and press enter. Now someone may ask, so say you've typed, why is that it's not displaying? Don't worry, might as well just clear the screen and then again type dir and press enter, and then you see that we have 𝐻𝐻 here. So in total all we have 6 directories. So that is how you can create your directory. Now before we look at this segment, let me just go ahead for us to look at how to remove these directories. But before looking at removing these directories, let me show you something on the Windows screen. If you could remember, I told you guys that these directories, on top of directory, they are known as folders, and these are all directories. So this is my pen drive here. When I double click on my pen drive, you see all the directories that I've created in the pen drive. So look at it. So you can see we have C, which is a folder. we have D, which is the folder, we have Joe, which is the folder, 𝐒𝐤𝐞 in that manner. So these are all empty folders I created. So you can use DOS to create folders, and these folders are known as directories. So a directory is an electronic case where files are being kept. So basically that is just that. Now let's look at the next segment, still under how to execute your DOS commands. Still we are under how to execute your DOS commands. So we are here, so looking at the commands. Okay, so still how to execute your DOS command. Now the next command we'll be looking at is rd. rd, we said it is used to remove a directory. So remember, how can we do that? In the same manner, for us to type rd space the name of the directory we wanted to remove, more or less the ones we've created. Let's look at how this has been done. So as you can see, this is my DOS screen or my DOS window. So first, let me clear the screen again. So I'll just type cls and press enter. So after pressing enter, my screen has been cleared. So I wanted to remove my directories. Now, some of you say, I can't remember the names. Don't worry. You can type dir and press enter to view the names, okay, whilst you are deleting them. But as you are viewing the names, whilst you are removing them, it will not be removing automatically. When you clear the screen and then display by typing dir, and then it will come back for you to see. Okay, so that is how it is. Okay, so let's look at how that has been done. So to do this is just simple. What you need to do is this: just go ahead and type rd space the name of the directory you wanted to remove. Okay, so I wanted to remove lolo, so lolo. Okay, press enter again. Then you go again and type rd space, let's say p, press enter again. Then you go again and type d, so rd space what, d, and press enter. So rd again, so rd again. Then you type C, rd again. Then let's remove 𝐒𝐤𝐞 and press enter. So after we are done, we just have to try rd again, and then let's remove Joe, and then we press enter. Then after that, what we need to just clear the screen. So we just type cls and press enter. For us to see whether these directories have been removed or not, what we need to do is that we need to type a command known as dir and press enter. Let's look at that. So when you press enter, you can see all the directories has been removed. So we have nothing on the pen drive, meaning all the directories has been removed and we have nothing on the pen drive. So basically that is how to remove a directory. Now there is another thing I'd like to throw light on for us to understand the basic concept of so far as creating a directory is concerned. Now as you can see on your screen, to create a directory there's another way one can use. You also to just type md like space lolo space p space d space joe in that manner space c, okay, and then space what, 𝐒𝐤𝐞. So when you do it that way, now this method is going to create the directories for you automatically. Okay, now let's look at how that has been done. Let's look at it. I just copied and paste back to no work, so I need to just type it more or less electronically as you are seeing. So I'll just go ahead and clear the screen and then type md space lolo space p space d space joe space c space 𝐒𝐤𝐞. And then when I'm done, might to just go ahead and then press enter. Before, let me look through whether there's another one left. I just created lolo, I just created p, I just created d, I just created joe, c. It seems there's one left. So I'll just press enter. So after pressing enter, automatically my directory has been created. Now moving on, what I like to do, I'll just clear the screen and type dir, and you can see I have the 6 directories created nicely. And you can also add another one by, if you want to remove also, you can just go ahead and type rd space lolo space d space joe in that manner, and then it will remove also perfectly. So these are the 2 ways of creating and also removing that I'd like you guys to just practice that. You can see what I'm doing now. I'm just typing rd space joe in that manner, like the way we created it. After that, I'll go ahead and just press enter, and then automatically these directories will be removed. So you can choose to use this method by creating a directory and removing a directory. So let's look at this. Let's type dir. You can see all the directories on the pen drive is being removed. So basically that is just that. So therefore, let's look at the command that we've treated. We've treated the rd, we've also treated the dir. So the next thing we'll be looking at is ren. As we said, the dir, so it is used to display a list of files and subdirectories in a directory, which we've already done. And so when you type dir, it display the contents of the pen drive. So the next thing we'll be looking at is ren. We said it is used to rename a file or a directory. So that's the next thing we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at how to use the ren, how to use shutdown, how to use color blue, and so on and so forth. So when we meet again, we'll be looking at that. That is all for today. See you when I see you. Bye bye.